doing? It's your boy Jermaine from Hognose Hogs back with another video. And for this video, man, I'm finally gonna attempt to finish my my rack that I bought months ago, but never used it because I didn't really need to. I didn't have enough snakes. But as my collection has grown, I was like, you know what? I need to get this set up. And before I was about to start using it, I realized how screwed up the rack system was. When I bought it off the guy from Facebook, it was a really good price. I just picked it up, put it in my car, took it home, and put it in my storage area. Never really looked at it. And so before we get started, I'm gonna show you a clip of when I first noticed how crappy this rack was and how bad the condition is. And then I'll show you everything that I've done to it to kind of revamp it, and then show you all the supplies that I bought in order to install some new heat tape. So watch this first video. All right, so this is the rack that I bought off of Facebook a few months ago. I don't really need it right now, so I haven't really thoroughly looked at it. And now that I'm looking at it, I just realized that I got ripped off. First, the tubs. I'm gonna get rid of all these tubs because they're filthy. And then looking at the back, I just took the back off of it. Look at all this. Look at all this dirt in the back of the tub. And the one thing I realized is how this heat tape is wired. It's not wired too well. And as you can see right here, it looks like the heat tape burned. Especially right here, look at this. Heat tape burned all the way. Look at that right here. This is like a fire hazard, man. So I'm gonna have to remove all the heat tape off of this, as well as I want to see if I can get rid of these dividers right here, so I can put more smaller bins, because I want this to be my hatchling rack. So the one good thing about it is I basically have the rack already like built and lined up and everything. I'm just gonna have to thoroughly clean it, change the heat tape out, and things like that. But for anybody that wants to buy like used racks, I think from now on, I'm just gonna buy them brand new, so I won't have to go through this issue right here. I didn't do my due diligence of really checking it out or whatever, but it is what it is. You live and you learn. But I'm gonna modify this a bit, definitely clean it out really well, and definitely replace this heat tape. And instead of screwing the heat tape in here like that, I'm gonna put that that aluminum tape to glue it down. So I'm not gonna do it today, but that's gonna be a project in the near future. All right, and so now here's some of the things that I've done to the rack. As you can see, this right here was the back of it. I took the back off so I can have easier access to where the heat tape is going to go. And as you can see, this is kind of, I guess it's called riveted, but this is to make sure that when I apply the heat tape right here, that whenever I put the racks in, the racks don't go directly over the heat tape. Kind of makes the heat tape last a little longer. And you can see it comes all the way down here. And I actually sanitized this pretty well, because it had a lot of rust and it was crappy. And then in that previous video, you'll notice that it had dividers right here. And I actually just tore these dividers out so I can have more space to put the rack systems. It's not a perfect rack. It was, the guy was using it for leopard geckos. And the only thing I don't really like about it is it's not as wide as my other one. So I'm gonna have to find Tupperware containers that can fit in it. The original Tupperware containers that it had, they weren't in such bad condition. They still had poop in some of them. Some of them had burn marks from the heat tape. So I just recycled all of them, and starting all over from scratch. So yeah, let's get to the supplies so you can see everything that I bought to get this back to where it should be. All right, the first thing we're gonna talk about is the heat tape. So this is 4 inches wide, and I forgot how long it is. I got it from Reptile Basics, and basically whenever you go on the Reptile Basics website, they have, you pretty much select the width of the heat tape that you want. Usually heat tape is 3 inches, but for some reason this one is 4 inches, and then it's sold by the foot. So this 4 inch heat tape was like $2.20 per foot, and so I ended up spending like 20 something dollars on the heat tape. And one mistake that I made, that if anybody's gonna make their own racks and they order from Reptile Basics, order the heat tape that already has this part attached to it. The confusing thing about it was, the heat tape that I bought was listed at $2.20 a foot, but if you got it with the extension cord already attached, it said $4 and something. So I thought that having the extension cable attached to it, they were going to charge me double per foot, but that's not the case. They're just going to charge you however much, you know what I'm saying, the base price of the heat tape, and then they'll just add $4 on to that price just to have it attached. And I wish I would have known that beforehand, because now I got to install this myself. So once I realized that, I was looking at other videos on YouTube, and I was like, I was going to get my own extension cord and cut it and try to do it myself. But I was like, you know what? I'm not an electrician. I don't want to get electrocuted. So I ended up just buying this part separately. And then once you get this separately, you also got to get a hole puncher. And then you got to get a crippler, pliers too. And I'll show you all of that. And right here, they sell this right here on Reptile Basics website for $60. I got these pliers from Home Depot for $25. And I also kept the receipt. So once I'm done using this, I'm taking it back to the store. I don't care. And I also got this this tape right here. This is like foil tape. I'm not really sure the purpose of it, but most of the videos that I watch on YouTube, this is the type of tape that they use for their heat tape on their rack. So let's get started, and hopefully I can get this hooked up the right way. And also, the way I knew how much heat tape to buy, luckily the old heat tape, I pulled it out and I measured it. So hopefully this is enough and this is what I need. But with all that being said, let's get down to it. We're going to start off with attaching this extension cable to the heat tape. So the first thing I need to do is I need to punch 2 holes in the heat tape on the copper part. So that's what I need the hole puncher for. So basically just right by the edge, right here. All right. So you can see that's one, and then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Try to be as close as possible. All right. All right. And so now I'm gonna attach this right here, the actual extension cord. And you can see it has these 2 little things. And so on the heat tape, you actually want to slip the extension cord in between this little layer. It's actually a little layer in between here. So you don't want to just put it like all the way at the bottom. You actually want to slip it in between. And I'll see if I can demonstrate that. All right, so hopefully y'all can see right here. It's actually like in between it. It's not under it. All right, so once I have that in place, it comes with these little rivet things. I'm not sure what they're called. And this is what you're going to use to keep that in place. So hopefully y'all can see this. All right, so I'm going to put that in here. And then one up top. And then I'm going to use my crippler right here to press it in place. All right, I was able to get this stuff in there. The crinkler clamp, I don't know if I don't think it was the right type, but it looks kind of jacked up, but it got the job done. It got the extension cables attached securely, even though it looks kind of crazy to the copper. So now what I want to do is they come with these little rubber sticky things that you want to put over it, just so you won't shock yourself. So I'm about to do that, and then you're gonna put it on the other side. So I'll show you how to do that as well. All right, so now I'm about to put this, basically this little tape type stuff over this part right here, so it prevents any kind of electrocution or anything like that, and it's sticky. So basically you want to make sure all the metal part is covered. Make sure all that. All right, so you want to do it like that. Make sure everything is covered up. Then I'm gonna do it on the other side. Honest with y'all, man. Y'all probably want to watch another tutorial video on this, man, because this isn't going how I thought it was gonna go. All right. Make sure it's nice and sealed up. All right, make sure no metal parts are touching, so it should look like this. And then on the end of your heat tape, you want to make sure, because this copper is exposed, and if you touch this area, you will get shocked. So you want to make sure you do the same thing to that. Make sure that that's taped up as well. All right, you can see the other end, I got it taped up like this. And so now it's time to install the heat tape. All right, so day 2 of the renovation of this snake rack. And as you can see, I got a lot of work done. Putting this heat tape down has been a lot harder than I thought. It's been a lot more complicated. It's just, I find that it's kind of hard to get it just to lay flat and flush, especially once you start getting down here with the tape and everything like that. Was able to work its way all the way down there. And as you can see, I've been taping it in some areas. This part was kind of hard to get it to stay. But one thing that I have been doing that I noticed has been working is I started putting like little staples in the white part right here, not on the copper. And that's really been helpful with keeping it where I need it to be. And then I put the tape down. So as you can see, some areas are still not flush all the way down there. So I'm gonna keep working on this, but I think I have the strategy down to get it all the way done. Like I say, this has been a labor of love. It's been frustrating. I had to take a day off, but I'm about to finish it, and I'll show y'all the completed project, the completed product. And then all I have to do after that is just screw the back cover on, and it'll be ready to go. So all it'll need is just a thermostat to make sure that the temperatures don't get too hot. All right, I'm finally done. So everything is pretty much as flush as I can get it. And as you can see, I got some of that aluminum tape reinforces some of the areas. I actually use staples, man, as you see on the white part. So I'm thinking about just keeping those staples in. It's not touching the copper or anything, so I don't think it would be a fire hazard. The last heat tape that they had on here prior, the guy who did the actual build put a screw in the copper and like screwed this part right here, like these little edges, into the actual rack. But they put the screw right on the copper, and I guess that's what caused it to catch on fire or overheat. But like I said, I made sure that all the staples are on the white part and they're not touching the copper. So I'm going to run it for a few days outside just to make sure there isn't any fire hazards. Also, the aluminum foil tape, none of that is touching the copper. So yeah, man, it's a lot harder than I thought. All I got to do is just screw in the back and it's going to be ready. All right, so the final update to this snake rack video. And after I got finished last night, something still bothered me. And it was, what is the purpose of the foil tape? Why do everybody seem to be using it when I watched these videos previously? And so I went back on YouTube, spent about 2 hours watching videos, probably watched through every snake rack build video that there is. And I started noticing that everybody puts the foil tape like actually over the heat tape, even over the copper part. And I guess it just conducts the heat. So wherever there's foil tape, it will be heat added, I guess. And I think it's supposed to protect the actual heat tape. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. So I went back and put foil tape all throughout the snake rack. And so that's gonna be it. And you know what? I was thinking I may just leave the back off. I don't know, just to make sure nothing overheats or anything like that for a little bit. But yeah, man, so this is the final product right here without the back cover on the snake rack. So hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. Like I say, this isn't a tutorial or anything like that. Go watch somebody else's video if you want to do a tutorial, somebody that's more experienced with this. This is basically my attempt to renovate a snake rack, just kind of learning as I go. Appreciate y'all for watching this video, man. I'll see y'all another time.